This is an original, and I don't know, hopefully somebody here online can tell me what this lock is. There's a little bit of an H right here, so I was wondering if this is a Gulcher. It is a right hand, not left hand. We're shooting backwards. Replacement trigger guard. But lock assembly, barrel, and wood is all original. The story on this supposedly was that it was a 32, bored out to a 36. However, it is a 38. It came with a mold, thankfully, a single mold in brass. So I cast those up, and it's definitely a 375. So I'm shooting 40 grains 3F out of my flask. And we're shooting hand cast, so I'm going to do a couple more here. But this thing is awesome. Smoky. All right. So this is one of those hidden surprises that I wasn't actually 100% interested in. Somebody changed out the butt plate, but it is original. Small mini crack that doesn't go anywhere. And then original lock. I'm wondering if anyone's got a good website. It's all wore out right underneath here, but there is one H, and it looks like it's the termination of a name. So I'm not sure. I mean, Gulcher obviously doesn't end in an H, but it's got an H in it. So I'm wondering if that's just where it came to. It was on Gunbroker. It was $4.95. Came with a vintage powder horn, probably from the 50s. It looks like, and then came with the mold. Excuse me. Took a big old inhalation of that powder there. But yeah, so the trigger guard's replacement, but the triggers are there, all original, and the lock is original. I pulled that off. But yeah, so it was sold as a 32, reboard to a 36 back in the 50s by somebody. And then the gentleman who I got it from was on consignment in his store out west in Ohio. I shouldn't say out west, but you know, I guess west. Anyway, the gun's awesome. Bore was immaculate, and I said it was rebored to a 36. So I got there and I was like, wow, 36 just drops right in there. So I cast a couple up of the balls, and they are definitely 375, 377. So I'm gonna have to get a custom mold for a 38, so I can drop like 6 at a time or something, maybe accurate mold. But yeah, check this out. The top one's the first one. There's 3 in the middle and 1 low. The low one was my second shot, and then 3 are right there. So here you go. A mostly original 37 or 38 inch barrel. And of course, it's freaking raining again. I cannot catch a break. But I saw this and I was like, you know, something about that told me it needed a new home. And, you know, we're here. Anyway, so if anyone has some good websites or any location on where I can figure out how to try to research these locks. I wish there's no other maker mark that I can see that's not wore off. I mean, this is definitely an old 1800s lock. The closest I found online were the Gulchers, and it's got some nice carving, and it is definitely, it's backwards, but there is an H right in there, kind of where those raindrops are under the bolster. Be neat to see what it is. Anyway, 38. So that was 40 grains, 3F, and that was the Graphs house blend. I think was Wano mix, and I'm using 15,000 sock choke, and then the hand cast little mini cannonballs. I'll show you. I got a couple left. It's just I don't want to keep this gun out too far in the rain, but so it's definitely a 38. 40 grains. She's zinging out there, so I'm gonna get the chrono on this one of these days when it's nice. But man, this bore was immaculate. So you know, I wish I could get the whole story of these guns. I'm gonna text the guy who I got it from. Maybe he knows a little more from the previous owner, or I'm guessing it might have been an estate sale consignment. But anyway, yeah, pretty neat. Just gorgeous. Neat to resurrect these old guns, and not all of them are in this condition. Both the set trigger and the main trigger work fine. There is no half cock on this gun. It is either down or up. So that's why I left it down in this last one with the cap on, again with the drizzly rain. But yeah, 38. So I guess that would be considered a deer rifle of old, because the 36s, 38s, and 40s were all deer rifle, bear rifle, do-all rifles. But yeah, 40 grains, pretty snappy out of there, hitting center aim, and I just took a guess on where it was going to be based on caliber and where I'm at with the other ones. So it looks like I got lucky once again, at least in guessing the charge. And so we're at 35 yards, point aim, with a 40 grains of 3F. Anyway, hope you guys like that. I know I definitely do. But I am going to have to cast up some more balls, because this gun is fun. But I want to get it out of the rain and wipe down some ballast and wipe that stock down as well, and try to preserve this, because this is an awesome piece of history.